Hi, I'm Francis Stevens, and this is my business to business narrated presentation for sports business models with George McNeely. Today we was to discuss the SWOT analysis in the Big Ten Conference and why it is the most lucrative conference in all of college sports. One strength comes to mind as they're the number one conference in revenue sharing. The Big Ten is the number one conference in revenue sharing, and by the end of the 2016-2017 academic year, each school will receive more than $35 million in revenue share, with University of Maryland and Rutgers coming into play. More teams, more revenue being able to get generated. Weaknesses could be a per-school revenue in the conference. The Big 12 Conference ranks number one above the Big Ten Conference with per-school revenue sharing. But as we said in the first slide, the slide before, in 2016-2017, the Big Ten will jump the Big 12 Conference in revenue sharing. With two brand new teams being added into the conference, this weakness will no longer exist and will be able to bring stability into the conference as a whole. What opportunity arise? High-performing markets. Yes, as we said, Maryland and Rutgers in two very high-performing markets. With the Big Ten expanding, growth happens. With that being said, the Big Ten will be able to gain instant control of East Coast markets such as DC, Baltimore, Maryland, and also New York, New Jersey. Another big opportunity came arise with the Big Ten Conference being able to open a second office in the New York City area. With that having two offices in that conference, one in Chicago and one in New York City, arises bigger and greater opportunities for the conference as a whole. And finally, the threat to the Big Ten conferences, the other power conferences. For instance, the SEC conference has joined with the ESPN networks to create the SEC network coming August of 2014. What that happening is the SEC is going to be looking to generate more revenue and compete with the Big Ten. It's like the old saying goes, in order to keep up with the Joneses, do as the Joneses do. And that's my take on the SWOT analysis of the Big Ten conferences. As you can see, my references there with my pictures and also some articles. But as I want to say before we do close out is this. The Big Ten conference, with more teams, they're going to be able to generate more revenue. And when you have that opportunity and that many teams in those major areas, there's no question in my mindset that they're going to be able to be a dominating force in college sports. My name is Francis Stevens, and this has been a Francis Stevens production. Good night, everyone.